another edition of the Morning Review.
I'm seeing Sir Gareth Southgate. I'm seeing Sir Gareth Southgate. We start all again. The habla of that made me laugh because I can't believe what I'm actually hearing. I'm seeing Sir Gareth Southgate start to make demands. He's got demands, people, and they go a little something like this. If he becomes Man United manager, he wants reassurance. He wants reassurances, right? That he's going to get 4 years. 4 years to get us into the Champions League spots. 4. If that's the case, you lot are all right. When I say you lot, I use that term loosely. You're all right about backing the manager. Yeah? I'd stay with Ruben then. I missed the memo of somebody automatically getting 4 years, no matter what happens, to get back to the Champions League. So I got it wrong. Ruben may as well stay for another 3 years. He's just about to get to 1 year. I got it wrong. I got it wrong. You automatically should get that time. Why on earth would you even take the job if you think you're going to get 4 years? What kind of demand is that? And I know there's going to be people in these very comments saying, not that it should be Southgate, but this is why Ruben should get 4. This is what it actually should take. This is what it actually should take. No, it shouldn't take 4 years. We need to get this out of our head that it's going to take 4 years for anybody, any manager. Remove Southgate. Any manager should not just be given 4 years. You have to earn 4 years, bro. This one-way transactional thing keeps happening, and I don't understand where this has come from. The manager has to earn time. We don't just have to give the time. There's a default amount of time that every manager does get that's sensible. But after that, you go into a territory of you need to earn it. 4 years. Let me know what you think about that. Are you in the comments saying, actually, 4 years? Yeah, he's right because Man United's a mess. Or are you more in the camp of, this is why we should stick with Ruben for an extended period of time? Or are you like, this means nothing to you, don't get Southgate and also get rid of Amorim? I want to know what you guys think in the chat. Crazy stuff. Did I say Ruben Southgate? No, I didn't.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not mad and that crazy.
You're flustered. You're flustered this morning. You're flustered, Fleck. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. We're already halfway to 100 likes. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to United View. We are going to be talking about Gareth Southgate and his demands for if he were to take the Manchester United job, should Ruben Amorim get sacked. We'll be chatting about that. We'll also, of course, be talking about the game tomorrow. The showdown of all showdowns at Old Trafford, the headline grabbers, which is Manchester United versus Sunderland, 3:00 kickoff into the sort of autumn, under the autumn lights. You know, as we get closer and closer to the winter.
Lovely.
Is it D-Day for Ruben Amorim? Oh, it's going to be excellent. But first, Fleck, I'll ask you a question. Have you made your picks this week? Oh, final one standing. Oh,
I have made my standing.
Yes, indeed. Because the race to become William Hill's final one standing is hotting up, Flex. If you're still in with a shot at glory, don't forget to make your picks ahead of the match week deadline to stay in the game. Different deadline this week. It's usually like 12:30 tomorrow on a Saturday. No, this week, 8 p.m. tonight. Because there's Friday night football. So make sure you get your picks in by 8 p.m. tonight. And if you're knocked out, don't worry. There's a new jackpot game that launches every single Premier League game week. This week, you can join a new game to win up to £50,000. Yes, 50K. Not bad, not bad, not bad. If you've not signed up yet, the rules of the game are simple. Pick a team each weekend. Win, you're through. But if they lose or draw, you're out. And you can only use that team once. All you have to do to play is download the William Hill app by clicking the link in the video description. It's also pinned in the chat, or you can search for William Hill on the App Store. T's and C's apply. It's UK and Ireland only. You have to be over 18. And as always, gamble responsibly. Now, Fleck, I'm still in for my 200K one. I'm still in.
Unreal. Round four.
Round
That's
4.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm on
yeah,
I'm on the 50K. I've been kicked out of loads. I'm on
Yeah.
I think I'm on a 20K one now, I think. Or is it 50? But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm way gone. You're doing well. So what have you
Round
got
4.
available?
Round 4.
What have you got?
I've got available to me. I could go
So
with
you
Man
can't
United
choose
versus
Liverpool, you
Sunderland.
can't choose
I could go
Palace.
with Arsenal against West Ham. That's not bad actually. That's not bad at
Yeah,
all.
you gotta go Arsenal own.
Um,
Oh, Villa Burnley.
Villa. What you say that? You say that, Flex. I don't trust
1-3 on the bounce now, all comps. They're back.
Arsenal at home against West Ham.
But people are saying, hold on, wait a minute. Yesterday on the prediction show, I was like, yeah, 100% Arsenal beat up West Ham. But some people are like, new manager bounce, Nuno second game, get them organised. And Robbie was even saying they haven't beaten West Ham in the last couple of times at the Emirates. But surely, that's
Surely you would say that. I mean, if you're looking at form, maybe you'd go with Bournemouth tonight. You know what I mean? Look at their recent form. 3
Bournemouth
wins, 2
tonight.
draws against Fulham. I've had a mixed bag, certainly to start the season.
Yeah, he does. Or even Newcastle Forest,
Yeah, because Ange's
struggling.
Ange's it's not working out.
There's no way they beat them.
And as much as Newcastle's recent record is spotty, they are actually playing quite well.
They
you know
are.
I mean? They've been a bit unlucky in a couple of their games.
I just can't see Forest getting a draw or definitely can't win.
They're really struggling.
They're bad.
I'm going to go with Arsenal. I'm going to go with Arsenal.
Yeah,
I feel like they're in form at the moment. The only one I was tempted by was that one, that Forest, because Forest are that
Newcastle
bad.
not scoring a lot of goals, so maybe it could be 0-0, 1-1. You never know, but I doubt that. But yeah, I'd say Arsenal's the safest bet out of that.
Yeah,
if they're available to you.
Arsenal is my pick. My pick has been made. Yes, my pick has been made. Flex, and who knows? I saw something like there was. Wait a minute. To do this. There you go. I saw something that I'm one of only 13,000 left in for the 200K one.
It's getting close. You
better
start thinking about how you're going to spend your winnings.
Getting real. Well, going to buy a lot of Manchester United WWE championships. Just going to buy several of them over and over. My whole backdrop is just going to be loads of them. You know what I mean?
What is it again? What is it? 200K you're in?
Yeah. 200K.
Yeah, so you just literally buy loads of those £500 belts for no reason, just decorate the whole wall with it.
Yep, exactly.
That's so mad. That's the first thing you think is what you want, just loads of those belts.
Yeah.
Not like going on a private jet, going super holiday in Maldives or just just some. It's just nice. Just get loads of belts, mate. So
yeah, lots of cans of Monster. That's what it's going to be. No problem.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of Optimum. That's what I'll be getting. Really optimized.
You'd be optimized beyond belief,
incredible Hulk optimized.
You have shares in Oxford Natural.
That's what it's going to be. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Yes, as I mentioned, T's and C's apply. UK and Ireland only. You have to be over 18, and please gamble responsibly. Flex. Gareth Southgate. His demands have seemingly been revealed. If you believe Samuel Luckhurst, that's the big point of contention here. This is the big asterisk over it. He is reporting that Sir Gareth Southgate fears, I always forget he's a Sir now, Sir Gareth Southgate fears he would not be given the time to transform Manchester United into a force again if he became the next manager. He could definitely do it, Flex. Whether he's got the time, that's the question. Because he definitely could do it, just needs time. Southgate is open to discussing the possibility of taking over at United if the club part ways with struggling coach Ruben Amorim. And well-placed sources say, boyhood United fan, Southgate believes it could take up to 4 years to make Man United contenders in the Champions League. The former England manager would require assurances that the United hierarchy stick to any long-term plan that they map out. Southgate is also concerned United would demand instant success, particularly if he made swift progress when he is a believer of overseeing gradual change over a lengthy period of time. The 55-year-old is in no rush to return to football management after he stepped down as England manager in July of last year. Southgate will deliver 2 talks in London and New York over the next month to promote
talks.
Flex. Yes, 2 talks to deliver his new book, Dear England, Lessons in Leadership. And he's involved in other ventures away from football. Southgate has also suggested he may not manage again. Oh, it'd be awful, wouldn't it? The former Middlesbrough manager, Southgate, has been linked with the United Post since Sir Jim Ratcliffe became co-owner of the club in February of 2024. Ratcliffe tasked cycling guru Sir Dave Brailsford with overhauling the setup at United, and Brailsford is close with Southgate. Ex-United sporting director Dan Ashworth endorsed Southgate, having worked with him in the England setup as one of the prime options to replace Erik ten Hag last year, but was overruled by chief executive Omar Barada, who headhunted Ruben Amorim. Brailsford had recommended Ashworth, who only lasted 5 months as sporting director before he was dismissed due to a lack of chemistry, according to Ratcliffe. Former Team Sky principal Brailsford is no longer on the scene at United and returned to cycling as the INEOS Grenadiers general manager. Brailsford is still listed as a director of the United Football Board. The absence of Brailsford and Ashwood from the United setup possibly counts against Southgate, who has enjoyed close personal and professional relationships with the pair. Southgate, remember, when it comes to clubs, he hasn't managed in the Premier League since Middlesbrough were relegated in May of 2009.
Change man, mate. Change man.
But he was in charge of England for 8 years, guiding them to a World Cup semi-final, 2 European Championship finals, which earned him a knighthood. I mean, there's so much down there.
It's mad. Knighthood. We haven't actually won anything. Really, the knighthood should be like, you become that once we win. Like, the big. You can't get it. I've just realised that. Like, it's just for like getting close.
There are services to football, isn't it? I guess
like,
services to football.
Yeah, but the services to football was. Well, it's not club football. He played for England. Like
doesn't have to be.
Players have.
Doesn't
okay,
have to be.
Coaching. Like what? He's got it. I think he's got it for galvanise, like the good feeling that he's brought, like in those moments of like nearly getting there. It must be.
Yeah, that's what he got it for.
Yeah, but you can't do that. I've just realised this. What's the what? He didn't win.
Come on. Now, the flex. I said this for many, many years, and I got told you're being arrogant here. You know, England hadn't reached a major final since '66. Southgate did it twice. Come on.
I've only just clocked this, you know, because I'm not. Listen. Well, I am advocating that he shouldn't have it, but because I was just about to say I don't want to take away people's achievements that they've worked incredibly hard to get. But when I think of like why he's been given that, was there a gap between him managing, not managing Middlesbrough, and before he got the England job? Was there like a big body of work of like some loads of charity? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think. Outside of just like, well, we all just got happy because we thought we was going to win 2 finals that we didn't. Like, there's got to be like certain, because you know that the services to football can be like, you know, so good at grassroots, you know, volunteering, charity work, raising loads of money, you know, Prince's Trust. I'm just trying to think of like, because I don't. What is it? It can't. Is it just for that? Is it under 21s as well? Yeah, but. So is it just what's it for?
Yeah, it's getting to the 2 finals, isn't it? That's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think I'm missing something. But all right, okay. Well, listen. The show's not about why he didn't get certain things in football. I just got stuck on that bit. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. What? We've actually rewarded that. We've rewarded. Anyway, that's in England.
It's not necessarily difficult, isn't it? Prince William was he honorary chairman of the FA? Something like that. Some role, isn't he? He's got some kind of role.
Do you know what? It is. Yeah. All right, let's get back to this.
The point being is, it's good 4 years, and this goes to show actually why he shouldn't be the Manchester United manager, because he thinks it's the same as international management. Whereby he's going, give me 4 years. Like 4 years in international management, you know, really in international management, it's 2 years, isn't it? You know what I mean? You go from major competition to major competition. But, you know, he's thinking of it like, you know, World Cup, you go from 4 year cycle. In club management, that doesn't exist. That doesn't, the 4 year cycle, what are we talking about here? You know, we're less than a year into Ruben Amorim's tenure. And it's already, to me anyway, quite apparent that he's not the right guy for the job, let alone 4. And we were having this chat before we went live going, if Gareth Southgate is going, it'll take 4 years to kind of really turn things around at Manchester United, then why would INEOS change anything? They would go, right, we're a year in with Ruben. He's got 3
Just
left.
wait.
Yeah, he's got 3 left. So he should, honestly, he's in no position. I know he did okay with England, right? But he's in no position really to be making demands. Your last club job, you got relegated with Middlesbrough in 2009, right? 2009. What's that? 16 years ago. You're in no position to be going, well, you know, I might not come back to management actually. And Man United are interested. I don't know. Seems a bit.
And how many years as well? Because if it's not 4, I'm not picking up the phone.
Yeah. I kind of for you know what I mean. It's I like to see sort of, you know, improvement over a long period of time, like over sort of 5, 6, kind of actually a decade. I like to see sort of 10. If you can give me sort of 10 years, then all right, cool. No, come on. You know, it's not going to work like it's already. If they are legitimately your demands, that already rules you out of Man United. Then, because you know,
well, yeah, you're not going to get that type of time
because no one's got that.
No,
no
you don't
one's
just get it.
got that.
And I'll be interested to see. I'll be interested to know: are there people in the chat, or you know, people thinking that actually, even if it isn't Ruben Amorim, even if it isn't Gareth Southgate in this instance, that actually it's a good idea. That's why you have to stay with Ruben Amorim. That's why we have to give him more time. Is there anybody who feels that? Is there anybody who feels that actually staying with somebody for 4 years is actually what's needed? Whether we sack Amorim and get Glasnow or Iriola, whoever the next manager is, or if it stays as Ruben. Do you agree with that 4-year sentiment of Man United so broken, the best thing to do is, regardless of results, 15th and worse like now, is stay with a manager for 4 years, because that's what it's going to need to like actually try and fix this? I don't believe that personally. I think you have to earn time. You don't just get given 4 years. But I just want to see what you guys think. Is there anyone out there who thinks that? Like Bigger says, yes, it's needed, but the right manager, someone where we can see progress. But then if you can see progress, then they've earned it. That's what I don't like. I'm saying like just the blanket. Here's a 4, because basically he's saying give me a 4-year deal. You know, Ruben Amorim got 2.5 and said that should be enough for you to see if I'm the right guy. Even he said it. And if we want to stay 4 years with somebody, that means you can see that you're going in there. They've earned time, which means they've probably done 18 months to 2 years, and you can go, I'm happy with that 18 months. I'm happy with that 2 years. Here's another 2 years. Like, I don't think you just get 4. Who's been given those type of contracts from the start? Does that even happen? Like,
I mean, sometimes you get 5-year contracts and stuff like that, don't you? Sometimes you get like, yeah. Sometimes
I feel like it happens less and less now in the modern day, though.
Yeah, well, certainly.
Look how quick managers change.
The whole point Ruben Amorim's on his contract 2.5 years, because he was like, you know, about, you know, that in 2.5 years you should be able to see whether this is working. I mean, to just try and demonstrate how long of a period of time 4 years is in football, right? 4 years in football. 4 years ago, yesterday, actually, 4 years ago, on the 2nd of October, 2021, Manchester United played against Everton at home. Redrew 1-1. That game was when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was doing that on the sideline, you know, when he was like laughing and doing all that. That was 4 years ago.
Right? Benitez was there, manager then.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Rafa Benitez is there. Think how much has happened since that. Think how long since that has happened. We've gone through
Ben Godfrey playing for Sheffield United the other day.
We've seen interims. Eric Ten Hag's won a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup and been sacked. Ruben's come in. We've got to Europa League final. The amount of players that have gone since then. I mean, he was actually playing that day, actually. Let's see if I can find the starting lineup for Manchester United that day.
Only that was, let's say, what I would say.
So Manchester United starting
Lingard,
lineup.
James.
Yeah. Man United starting lineup that day was David De Gea in goal, gone. Wan-Bissaka, gone. Lindelof, gone. Varane, gone. Luke Shaw, still here. Fred, gone. He was substituted for Pogba, gone. McTominay, gone. Mason Greenwood, gone. Bruno Fernandes, still here. Anthony Martial, gone. Replaced by Jadon Sancho, gone. Edison Cavani, gone. Replaced by Cristiano Ronaldo, gone. There are 2 players in that team.
Even if you went to the bench, it'd probably all be gone as well.
From 4 years ago. From your 4 years. So Like, that's how long.
Well, Harry
you
Maguire
know,
would have been there then, but not. He obviously might have been on the bench, so he's still there.
it wasn't even on the bench. The
He
subs
might have
not
been injured,
used.
but
Dean Henderson, gone. Eric Bailly, gone. Tellez, gone. Lingard, gone. Matic, gone. Donny van der Beek, gone. There are 2 players in that whole squad that day.
Where's
that are still
Rashford?
at Manchester United. Not there.
Yeah, so Rashford and Thingy were probably just injured or something, and Maguire
All not there.
because they're still here.
All not there.
Yeah, so like your point is that 4 years is
Huge
a
amount
long
of time.
time. Now,
Yeah.
again, the pushback from some will be that Man United is so broken. That's how shit we are. That's how shit we are. We're that shit that we actually need that. That's how long it's going to take for somebody, and I say somebody with an asterisk because it's not necessarily Southgate. That's how long it's going to take for us to get good again. 4 years. But I'm saying, yes, recruitment needs to improve. We need to buy the right players, like what Charlie was alluding to about. Even if we probably had the right manager, this squad's probably not good enough to get in the top 4. It doesn't really have the quality needed. When you look at the other 4 teams that will probably get in it, well, we know the 3 that would definitely get in it, and then the 4th is up for grabs. And when you look at, say, Newcastle, Chelsea, I don't know who else is a contender for that. Villa, I know they're not doing too well now, but they're usually up there. Let's say Brighton and stuff. You look at it, Spurs. Sorry, I forgot about them. You look at the other teams that are going for it. We still look off it, even with what we've got. So you do have to buy better players and build the squad, but it doesn't have to take 4 years. You could fix the squad this summer and get like proper midfielders, and you could get like 2 midfielders and 2 wing backs, or like a couple wing backs or something. You could improve in the summer.
Why does it have to even be this summer? They said after the summer window that because of the selling and because of improving the finances a little bit, we can go spend in January. We don't have to wait till the end of seasons now. We can make those changes mid-season, and they can be a big catalyst to success. I don't think anyone would really dispute this idea that, if you get 4 years at a club, you would hope to see some significant turnaround and some huge stability there. But to your point earlier on, you have to earn it. Nobody gets a blanket 4 years, 5 years of, well, regardless of what happens here, you are going to be sticking around for 4 or 5 years. Nobody gets that. Those that have got that have earned it, haven't they? If Pep Guardiola, he in his first season at City, whilst they weren't the finished article, where did they finish? Third or fourth that season, right? And even that, they started the season a bunch of games unbeaten, because remember they beat us at Old Trafford. And then the next season he wins the league. So you get time. Jurgen Klopp, obviously it takes a while for them to win the Premier League, but at the end of his first season, he's getting to Europa League final. Season after that, he's getting, top 4? And they're getting Champions League final not long after. So like you're buying yourself time. If any of those names I mentioned, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, or Mikel Arteta, if they'd have delivered the form that Ruben Amorim has delivered, they would have got sacked. They earned their time. They got their time. You could make an argument certainly with Arteta of, he got more backing maybe than others because they finished 8th twice. All right, fair. But, he also then, I suppose that's why him winning the FA Cup straight away was critical, bought him a bit of extra time. Ruben hasn't done that. For any of these managers that have been at these clubs for a long time, you have to show something. You have to earn it. And that's not the case. And it would be the same with Gareth Southgate. If Gareth Southgate did get the job, he's not going to get 4 years. If he did get 4 years, it would be because he did really well and he would have earned it. So I got no issue with someone getting 4 years as long as they've, as long as they've earned it to get to that point, right? Because most people in the Premier League, if they get that threshold, it's because they've done something right. Let's be honest.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You earn that time. You can't just get given time and then it goes wrong or it looks like you're going backwards and somebody says to you, here, have more time. Yes, they're sticking through people through difficult times. I think, again, people blur that line between you just not being very supportive. You're not taking time out to back the guy. You're not you ain't got the stomach for hardships. There's that line that gets crossed into delusion. It gets crossed into, this is not going to get any better. Dereliction of duty, as they call it. Neglect. You're now not doing your job of safeguarding the club, safeguarding the best interest of what we all say, the most important thing, Man United Football Club. That's the, if you can see that it's going down the pan and it's just you losing, then you're not doing your job properly. However, what we have seen is, regardless of, okay, away from the Southgate thing and more to the Sir Jim thing, you know, Laurie Whitwell was saying this as well, like, Sir Jim really is intent on giving Ruben this whole season, guys.
Yeah.
I've actually, like, I read some stuff. I don't know if we've got it as part of our show, but, you know, he was saying stuff on a podcast, and he's not the first person to say this, but when Laurie does say it, you know he's got good connects at the club. Like, I know there's this thing of untenable, like, oh, if we're 15th, but now I'm starting to think crazy stuff, you know. I'm starting to think that actually, no matter what, they are just going to give him a year.
Said this.
There you go.
This. From speaking to people, even if United lost to Sunderland, I do not think it would be the end for Ruben Amorim. Ratcliffe is the one who will decide, and I'm told he wants to give Amorim the full season.
And I think the fact that he wants to give him the full season, if I just take my opinion out of it, because I think Ruben should be relieved of the job, right? From a Sir Jim perspective, he's trying, I disagree with this, but he's trying to say, I just need that stability, a whole year of this. We want to support him. We don't want to keep changing. And then if it is wrong by then, we can change in the summer. We're not going through what we did last year by changing in November. We're better off sticking. I don't agree with this, but he thinks we're better off sticking with the one guy through all of it and see where we end up. And to me, that is saying that, okay, you are okay at finishing 15th again. You're okay at being, well, we're not in Europe. You know, you're okay being trophyless and obviously being nowhere near European spots or nowhere near seeing any improvement. And then you're happy to change it in the summer, which is where I saw things Adam Crafton at the Athletic, or somebody else, one of the guys at the Athletic, leading into what the manager's market looks like in the summer, about how free it is to get people. So I'm concerned. I'm more concerned than ever that actually this ain't about, like you said, Owen, on the game before, a couple of days ago, whenever it was. Like, this is less about that one game is going to be, you know, this one said game in the calendar is going to be the end. I tell you what, if you lose to Sunderland, that's, like you said, that's the tipping point. No. If you lose to Liverpool out the international break, it ain't going to be like, I don't think there's going to be a tipping point. And obviously what we will do, which I do believe, we will win games of football, just not many. Like, we'll win the odd, we'll be like last year, maybe a little bit worse. We'll win the odd game, might win against Sunderland. And then, like you said, all of this just becomes a little less. And then you come out the international break. Maybe you draw against Liverpool. Done that before with the same manager. Then you lose to Brighton. So, but then in the last 3 games, you've got a win, loss, and a draw. So it's a bit meh. I.e., not enough for INEOS to sack. So I'm actually leaning towards that statement there, and I think he might just last the season regardless.
I spoke with James about this last night, and to be fair, I do think people are kind of misinterpreting a bit what Laurie is saying there. So he's sort of saying, you know, he wants to give Amorim the full season. I look at that. That's ideal scenario. You know, the ideal scenario is that results pick up enough so that Ruben can be given the full season to have a fair shake of it and see if they can qualify for Europe. Obviously, if results continue how they are and we're just not winning games, and it's to me, it's already readily apparent, but to them, it becomes readily apparent that we're not even going to get top half, let alone qualify for Europe, or we're going to be looking over our shoulder at the relegation zone, what have you, then he'll go. And they'll make that decision. I think what Laurie's kind of saying there is the ideal scenario for Sir Jim is that, you know, Ruben does enough to get a full season and then they can judge it at the end of the season, or we're still in that point of conversation of, we maybe could qualify for Europe, you know, until we're in that till like March or April, that kind of thing. But I think if results go as their way they will, I just don't see him lasting anyway, because it'll become, for me, it's been untenable for quite some time. And I think that Ruben's in the the managerial death spiral. I think he's actually been in it for quite some time, honestly.
Yeah, he's just circulating in it. He's just living in there.
And you're right. I think that, I really don't know if we'll win tomorrow against Sunderland. I think a lot of people are taking that way too much for granted, about how that's going to look. But all right, even if we don't win tomorrow, I think it would have to be a really catastrophic defeat. You know what I mean? So let's say we lose like 3-0, then maybe they might do it. But if we lose 2-0 or 2-1, I think we'll have a noisy international break, but I don't think he'll go. I think that I really feel like it's the same as last year. I feel it's the same as last year with Eric, of this October international break with Ten Hag. There was a lot of speculation about his future, meetings in Knightsbridge and what have you, and then he stayed. Then a couple games back, once we get into November, then I think that might be it for Ruben, which is my biggest frustration. Is, for me anyway, that's the path I see it going down. I feel that's really, I don't even think that's a big stretch to say that's the path it's going to go down. And my frustration is, why are we going to wait like basically 6 weeks to do something we know we're going to do? Why wouldn't you just do it immediately, save yourself some time and be proactive? But it's because there's money on the line, isn't there? It's because they're thinking maybe, well, it's cheaper. And all of those things, all of those criticisms that people are putting towards INEOS, I think are accurate in that case, which is, I think INEOS are trying to avoid making that decision. I think they are trying to delay, in the sense that, all right, we'll give them a chance. And also, if it doesn't work out, we save some money. I think they are delaying it also as well, because it's embarrassing, as was mentioned earlier on. Omar Barada, who's going to be key in that decision as well. He went out of his way to headhunt him and go to Lisbon and go get Ruben Amorim and convince him, and it's been a disaster. So there's going to be a lot of red faces there, isn't there? If they have to pull the plug around a year after they hired him. But if you make mistakes or you don't get things right, or your decisions don't go the way you want to, you've got to stand up and take it, right? You've got to, what's the word? Accountability. You've got to have accountability in the same way that Ruben Amorim has to have accountability. So do INEOS for making mistakes and errors. They can get praise for the good things that they've done, which they have. James and I spoke about this last night too. It is remarkable how, off the pitch, they have actually done quite a lot of good things, INEOS, right? You look at that. We were listing the problems at United, and we were sort of going, well, finance is still a problem. They are working on that. Financially, we are in a bit of a better position than we were a year ago.
Yeah,
not so much in terms of debt, but expenditure, what have you, record revenue. So they go, oh, we've done that. Wages, they've certainly got wages down. The salary is not as bloated as it was in the first team squad. So they go, yeah, all right, we've done that. Facilities, our facilities are shit. Got New Carrington. They're trying to get a new stadium. Whether or not that will actually happen, time will tell. But they'll go, right, doing that. The setup at Manchester United, right? They would go like, well, actually, it's more defined now, and you've got directors of football and technical directors and this, that, and the other, and that's better. But none of it's correlated to anything positive on the pitch.
But we're worse. Worse on the pitch as a result of all these things.
But none of it. But none of it has got any better, which is actually pretty remarkable when you think about it. Usually, all of those successes off the pitch would lead to some successes on it. But they're just completely removed, which is why I do understand people when they'll go, well, okay, so you're going to replace Amorim, but are those guys going to get that right?
And that's the thing.
Their track record is probably no. But then does that mean, because they're not going to get it right, let's just not make a decision? You know what I mean? Let's just not do it. You can't really do that either. You have to just hope that they get lucky. I don't know. So, which is, I think, why a lot of people are so downtrodden is, all right, Ruben, it's not working out. We're going to have to make a change. But is the change we're going to make going to be any better? And I guess the pushback to that is, it can't be much worse, surely, apart from relegation. That is literally as worse than it can get now, is relegation. And you could make an argument we're in that form anyway.
We're in that. So we've been in that form since he got here. We've been in relegation form since November, whatever it was that Ruben had his first game against Ipswich Town. We've been in that. And the truth is you're right. When you look at INEOS, they have done some good things, but they have done some things where you're like,
anything football related. Football related has been,
because guess what?
Let's face it.
They ain't great at that. They ain't great at that. They don't come from that. Like, yes, they're all right. They've got Nice and stuff, but that's not what. It's not like the job they've done at Nice is so outstanding that it's like they're a great advert for what to do when walking into a club. Not really.
Managers, sporting directors. I mean,
got the guys from flipping the Grenadiers and the bloody cycling and
the FA Cup win,
surfing. I mean, and that.
They were there, but they're not really responsible on that one. They were just through the door. They hadn't had a transfer window at that point.
And they wanted to get rid of that guy and didn't.
They've not, like, anything football related. They've not done well. Anything not football related, they have.
And guess what? And guess what, Owen? Guess what? The guy that we hounded out, not saying we should bring him back, that's what he used to do. Ed Woodward. Anything off the pitch, record revenues, front of shirt, back of shirt, sleeve sponsor, this, that, and the other. Great at business. Well done to you. But what was the other regime doing in terms of Richard Arnold, etc., etc.? What were they doing in terms of on the pitch? Ruining us. And we cussed them for that, saying they're just bankers, university guys, this, that, and the other. And now we're accepting, when you think about it, guys coming in from completely different walks of life, no real tangible work in football, and giving big jobs to people. Big jobs. Jason Wilcox.
The pushback for the Woodward and Arnold one, though, would be is that what they were doing was setting us up to get to this point. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, with the finances, with the transfer fees, they've put us into this position of not sustainability. So we're having to now suffer because of it. That would be their pushback. For all of their record revenues, they were spending money just as quickly. You know what I mean? And they were putting players on massive contracts, which have now come back to bite us in the arse, haven't they? So I think that's where, as much as they could be like, oh, you know, Ed Woodward and Richard Arnold, they wouldn't allow us to go below 7th or 8th. But if they'd have stayed as long as, if they were still here now, we'd probably still be in the same position, because their way of trying to get out of it was just spending money. And that would just got us deeper in the hole anyway.
Well, yeah, we've seen a difference in tactic, because what they were doing clearly weren't working. But then when INEOS come in and make the decision, like you say, you live and die by your decisions. Their decisions have brought us here. And that's with, like, say, trimming people's jobs and doing all this for the betterment of the team, being able to spend what we spent in the summer, etc. Being able to get a shiny new toy manager from out sporting. You know, it's now or never. You come here now. All of this. You did that. Bringing in Dan Ashworth because he's best in class, then sacking him because he's not best in class anymore. You did that. Saying you want to sack Eric Ten Hag, then not. Then investing into players for him in that summer with Xerxes, Mazraoui, Delict and Ugarte, then going a few months in, nah, not for us. You've contributed to that, paying him money. Yeah. Now you're looking at maybe a severance that you got paid to Ruben. You've done that as well. So basically, for every good thing you've done, you've counterbalanced that with a shit thing. So you're barely at par. And the team is the worst it's ever been in the history of the Premier League. So I don't buy it with INEOS. I think we can talk. I think we should talk about not just paint the whole thing as like, but what one thing have they done good? You know, we can say that. You're absolutely right. They did. You know, so Jim Ratcliffe put his own money into the training ground, which, you know, the training ground is that should have happened a long time ago, but nobody else was doing it. All right, he did that. We got plans for a new stadium. We got it. We got plans. They got nice.
And we're spending more time at that new training ground as well, Flex.
Spending more time at press conferences.
we're getting a lot better out of there because we're there one game a week, mate. So we're spending more time on that training pitch.
More time on the training pitch. Like, it's all rubbish. I think we just get laughed at from others outside looking in. They give me the vibe that they also don't have a clue, if I'm honest with you. That's what it feels like.
No, I would agree. Like I said, I think that the track record so far, from a sporting perspective, it's awful. But there's not been any wins. And when I say wins, I also mean legitimate wins on the pitch. It's barely been.
Like, what have they done? What have they done in football? Even the conglomerate of people that have been assembled. Jason Wilcox, yes, okay, he done the youth work, really good youth work at City, and then went to Southampton as their sporting director. And last time I checked, have you seen Southampton's squad that he built that got?
And it was totally different job, wasn't it? They was director of football at Southampton in the Championship, and then now he's the football director at Manchester United. I mean, talk about an
What
upgrade.
a,
My God.
do you see what I'm saying? So
No.
that's too high. You've never operated at this level, so you're novice. You look at Omar Barada, done some good work at City. Wasn't the main guy. He was like third in command. You know, we did the video with Jolien Lescott to understand more about Omar. It's a new thing for him. It's a new thing for him working at this level. CEO, big decision maker of Man United, massive. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, you know, fantastic businessman. You know, richest man in Britain, amazing. Petrochemicals or pharmaceuticals, whatever it is. You know, and has other businesses with his money that he likes, sporting adventures. But what has he done in football? In football, at the highest level, what's he done? Nothing.
Yeah.
Then it was Jean-Claude Blanc and Sir Dave Brailsford who have also stepped back. Now they're not even involved like that, but they were involved within the first year while we were looking for the right structure.
Glad the Brailsford things, because that's never made sense to me.
What is it? What's he done in football? What's he done?
Cycling. And now what's he back doing? Cycling, because that's what he's good at. He's good at cycling.
So we do all of this stuff of, oh, it's this, and they got Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford and this, that. So what? What have you done?
Sir Gareth
football?
Southgate. Sir Gareth. Oh my goodness. But do we actually think, I mean, chat can say this as well. How real is that possibility?
I don't think it will happen, because I don't think like they say, Sir Jim's got the final thing. I don't think he's on, and actually Omar Barada's there and he's a big advisor. I don't think they would rate him enough.
No, I think also as well, I think someone mentioned this the other day, it is a bit of a manager's market, in fairness. Like whenever they make the change for Ruben Amorim, you've got Andoni Iraola and Oliver Glasner about 6 months left on their contract. So the compensation to get them won't be that big anyway, regardless of when it happens. If they got him today, he's got less than a year left on his contract. It's not going to cost that much. If they wait until January, then it's 6 months. If they wait until the summer, they're free to go. So both of them won't be up Palace and Bournemouth next season, will they? It's just a case of where they go. I think both of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a case of where. United Love says he's the real life minister of enjoyment. United for vibes, in terms of Sir Gareth. Super Art says he couldn't manage an English super team. Bug off. Again,
well, the thing is, though, because that was one of my criticisms of him, it will be really interesting to see how England do at this next World Cup with Thomas Tuchel. Because, like, again, my criticism was, Gareth Southgate, he's got to those finals, but he should be. That's a good enough squad to be getting to those finals. Should be winning them. Be one of the best teams in the competition. Be interesting to see if Thomas Tuchel does better or worse than Southgate, right? Because a couple of these games at the start have not been that great to watch, have they, Thomas Tuchel? But international management's weird, because sometimes it's not even necessarily about tactics, is it? It's just about, again, like vibes. Can you just get everyone to get along? It's tournament football. It's knockout football. The best team doesn't always win, you know. So, and week to week club management, different level, innit? Different level, particularly when you've got like basically zero experience of it as well. You know, you're talking there about Jason Wilcox. What's his really qualifications for the role? Omar Barada, Jim Ratcliffe. It would be in keeping with all of that, wouldn't it? That we do get someone in that's only had one club job before, and that was at Middlesbrough 16 odd years ago, and he got them relegated. that would be in keeping with someone in a major position of authority on the football side of things that's kind of got no business being in there. That would sum up massively. But I still don't think that'll happen. I think if Ruben goes, they'll go for like Glasner or Iraola, I think. But also because they want Premier League experience, I think.
I don't think you don't go from someone like Ruben who has no Premier League experience and see how he struggled, and then you don't go for somebody who has a bit about them, a little bit of a track record in this league, especially because they're available. They're available. Even if they sacked Ruben in this period before these managers are free, if you pay right, they are attainable. Like, I think you could get Glasner from Palace. I don't think Glasner would say no. You know what I mean?
Palace fans would hate us, wouldn't they? I mean,
oh God!
Like imagine they continue their trajectory at the moment, and because let's say Ruben doesn't get sacked till like November. So if at that point Palace are still like in top 5.
Of course,
And
yeah.
and we go and get them.
Ruin it all. And you know that
live
Glasner
it.
would come in and initially strike. It wouldn't be all rosy, and it would take him time. That's the time that you do get at the start of being a manager of said club. It would take him time, and they'll be like, look at this, look at us. You know what I mean? And I don't know who they'd go and get. Maybe they try and go and get Areola. I don't know. But yeah, and some people don't even want Glasner. To be fair, Show says honestly, rather Glasner stay at Palace. I'm happy for them. Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's like, who do we get? I know that what we said about the gotcha thing. It's like, but it is obviously a discussion because you do have to talk about it. Who do we get?
Well,
but I just
James
think that we're not close.
James insists last night. He said there's no list. He said there's no the whole thing about there's.
They haven't drawn it up yet. Yeah.
He said there's no list, but I kind of did get out of him that there isn't a list, but there's more of a database, which is basically which this does make sense. Man United have a whole recruitment department, and they've got information on thousands and thousands of players, many of which they will not sign. Just because we've got a head coach or a manager, why wouldn't we do the same thing for managers? Man United would, of course, keep information on a lot of different managers because it behooves them to do so, right? You should always have alternatives. You should always have contingency plans or what have you. So in the same way that we've got information on, I don't know, pick any player in the Premier League, even if we're not going to sign them, right? We've got information on Mo Salah, right? We're not necessarily going to get them, right? But you have information on them. I guess his point was Man United have got information on a lot of different coaches. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a short list of them, but they track people. Because
same with players. Same with players.
That's what you do. You keep an eye on things. Now, if they
that's
then
your job.
Yeah, if they then decide to, move on Ruben, or they decide actually we should start sounding out people, that's when you start putting a list together. But we're not at the stage yet for a list to go together, which would line up, to be fair, with what Laurie Whitwell is sort of saying there, going, well, as of now, the intention is to give Ruben the full season. So they're not looking at alternatives yet. Now, if they decide that they are going to look at alternatives, then they'll have a look at that information they've got and go,
yeah,
right,
and then draw up the list. So
then
out of the information and data we have, let's make a list of the top 5 candidates.
So it's like there isn't a list,
but one could be made very quickly.
But one could be made very quickly if they did want to make a list. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones.
Yeah, and that is just, to be honest,
that makes sense though.
Yeah, and that is like football management, right? That's like decision-making territory. Whether that's players, wherever you go, we've been, when they said, we've been tracking this player for a while, and you send scouts out to watch this player. You're like, don't necessarily want to buy him now, but there's a big database in the scouting department that has access to thousands of players' data at the drop of a hat. Because guess what? At the elite level, that's your job. Your job is to go into work every day and collate data, watch players, have little sort of, not lists, because we're saying the list ain't been drawn up yet, but have just access to the information that could be, drawn upon. And obviously when you're planning for the future, like the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years, it could be a kid in the Championship playing for bloody Middlesbrough. And they're like, tell you what, though, in the next 18 months, I think he's going to be something. So let's keep a keen eye on that. You don't want to buy him now. You're not trying to, get him on loan or anything like that. So it happens all the time in football. That's what, so that if anything does happen, especially with the management side of things, you're ready to go. That's why it don't take that long for them to get managers.
Do you know what is funny, though, actually, looking at Oliver Glasner? And I remember this last season at Palace. He had a horrific start to the season.
Yeah, he did. They couldn't win in like 9 games, I think.
Twice in his opening 14 games. Right, last season for Palace. It took them until the 27th of October to pick up a win last season, which was against Tottenham at home. Before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games without a win, of 5 of which were defeats, and managed to turn it around. Because, in fairness to Palace, I remember him sort of saying, "Well, we did tweak some things, we changed some things, we focused on defending first and adapted or what have you."
Adapt. Look at that,
yeah. Or didn't just keep going. And again, this is after losing someone like Elise, still managing to adapt and overcome. Not bad, is it? But it will be interesting. I guess the point being is that if someone like him came in, and it was the same with Andoni Iraola when he first started at Bournemouth. His first season at Bournemouth, they were shit for like
So why did sack O'Neill for this?
4 or 5 months. They really struggled, and then they won a bunch of games in a row, and they've kind of been all right ever since. But it's because there's going to be a slight adaptation period, isn't there? So it's not to say if they were both to come in, or one of them were to come in, the start might be a bit rubbish, but they turn it around. The problem is with Ruben is start was rubbish. It's just never.
There's never been any momentum.
It's just never turned around for Ruben Amorim.
There's never been any momentum.
Yeah.
It's a sad day. I don't know where.
Every day's a sad day at the moment, Flack.
I
feel like you're broken.
Definitely. Because I like it. On DR, it's like, hey, so right, prediction flex United. I literally have this blank, like, I can't do it I can't predict nothing anymore. How, like, I could see a way where we beat Sunderland. I could see a way where they F it up and draw. I could see them losing. Like, I could see it all.
Yeah, I really don't know for tomorrow.
I don't know.
Like, genuinely, I really don't know. This, again, for people that have been like, if we can't beat Sunderland at home, I'm like, where are you getting that from? Because I think it's a real possibility we couldn't win.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Or just not win. A draw or something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Yeah, this whole like, wow, if we can't beat Sunderland at home, we definitely can't beat anyone. Really?
There's just not enough. I think the problem with predictions now is that, as we've seen from all of the results that have not been, there's nothing there for us to be able to predict properly. You can't do it. It's too hard.
The one thing I can say is not going to happen is we're not going to win like 4-0.
Yeah.
Or 3-0.
Say that.
Something like that. That's not going to happen. That won't. We could win by like edging it 2-1, 1-0, 2-0. We could draw definitely, and we could lose easily as well. But like 4 or 5-0,
comfortable 3-0. Just
that won't happen. No, we don't. We don't win comfortably. We've not done that. The last time we won comfortably was it Everton when we beat them 4-0, and even that I remember the first like 30 minutes we were awful in that game, and then kind of just got our goals. But no, we're not gonna win comfortably tomorrow. Even when we played Burnley this season at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it wasn't
comfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
And then,
so that's why no one can be negative. Like you can't, if you're one of the people that are trying to see something, even you can't be like, oh, stop being so stupid. Of course we beat Sunderland at home. You're just being negative now. You're just trying to. No, there's like.
No,
it's not. There isn't that. Like, it isn't that. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Managers Flex just need to fake it in MDR shows just for the banter because you just look like a zombie in the Man United section. I do, bro. I feel like I get involved in all the banter. Obviously, it's fun, isn't it? So I get involved in all the other shit. And then they go, right, Saturday, this time, Old Trafford, Man United versus Sunderland. I just go, right, well, what? What's that? What'd you say? Who's playing? What? And then they go, right, so all that said, so then I cuss the team, and then they go, okay, so all that said, right, so give us your prediction. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what to predict. I think I predicted a 2-1 loss on DR. I think. I did. But I did that against Burnley. I was like, Josh Cullen and probably Hannibal would lose that. I think I said that. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. And for actually to get our actual predictions, check out the preview at midday, which you can see here on United View. Because we do actually have to do a preview. And it'll be a bit like this.
It'll be really
I don't know on the fun. There you go. All right, people. Big up to you, man. Of course, today we've got the press conference. And of course, the Trinity later on today, 4 p.m. as usual. We'll go through whatever Ruben said in the presser if there's anything of note, but I think we're pretty much settled now in terms of players back and stuff like that. So the Senna Lomans thing's just not really a thing. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Right, guys, smash a like on the video and subscribe to United View if you haven't done so already. We will see you very, very soon. We'll see you at 12 and we'll see you at 4. Take care. Peace.